So the rumors were true. The next Total War is going to be Total War Pharaoh. In Total War Pharaoh, the newest entry in the award-winning grand strategy series, immerse yourself in ancient Egypt at the zenith of its power and experience the dramatic events that threaten its destruction. I really hope the trailer is not an indication of how good the game is, because the trailer has gotta be the worst in Total War history. We've got a beetle pushing a piece of dung across the screen for more than half of this thing. I know they're trying to be profound. The scarab was sacred to the Egyptians. But what this amounts to is a turd being pushed across the screen and then being smashed by an arrow. Yeah, you know, I've got a little bit of comments to say here. I don't know what Creative Assembly is thinking with this, because after we get through the trailer here, we'll go down to some of the pricing and what we're getting for the DLCs. We'll also take a look at the historical background, and we'll take a look at an article that IGN wrote, which gives us a little bit more insight into what we're getting with Total War Pharaoh. So I've got a couple of screenshots here, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, this looks exactly like Troy, a reskin of Troy. We've got like a little bit of a different backdrop. We're not really getting a whole lot of information here. Yeah, anyway, so it's coming October 23rd. Here are the prices. Pre-purchase Total War Pharaoh Standard Edition. These are Canadian prices, so they may be a little bit foreign to a lot of you. Yeah, Canadian prices. So a $79.99 price for a game is what you would pay for a complete AAA game that's, you know, finished on release. It's a complete game, and it's a AAA title, a full game. Whereas this looks, I mean, Total War Pharaoh, I mean, how could it possibly be a full Total War game? Like, it's in such a small area. It looks like a Total War Saga game. It seems like what they're doing here is they're marketing a Total War Saga game as a full-fledged Total War historical title, which, I mean, if they're going to expand it to other areas, you know, within the Bronze Age, then you know, maybe I might be okay with that, but I don't know. So, yeah, Standard Edition, full-priced AAA game, but then the Deluxe Edition, 9807, Dynasty Edition, 122.96. Like, these, we're getting into some pretty heavy pricing here. Stand against the collapse of a civilization in Total War Pharaoh. All right, so this is what you get with the different editions. Standard Edition is just Total War Pharaoh. Deluxe Edition, if you pre-order now, you get 10% off the Deluxe Edition, which includes a faction pack DLC 1, digital soundtrack. So what, you don't get, you don't get the soundtrack if you get the Standard Edition? I don't know. 25% off if you pre-order the Dynasty Edition, which includes Total War Pharaoh, DLC 1, 2, and 3, campaign pack DLC, and the digital soundtrack. So essentially, if you want the full game, you've got to order the Dynasty Edition. Cool. Very cool. DLC will be released as part of the post-launch content roadmap. Details of the DLC roadmap will be provided at a later date. Digital soundtrack will be released with Total War Pharaoh. So, the details of the DLC roadmap will be provided at a post. So, you've got a DLC roadmap and a post-launch content roadmap. So what is the post-launch content roadmap going to be? We're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix that. We didn't quite do this. I don't know, man. Like this doesn't get me excited for the game at all. There's all kinds of troubling warnings in here. Yeah, and then pre-order bonus. These are your pre-order bonus, and they're just calling them cosmetic packs. These units don't actually function differently. They're just a cosmetic pack. Avatar of the Gods cosmetic pack. Heart of the Shardana cosmetic pack. What the hell? The Avatar of the Gods cosmetic pack contains a unique skin for each playable faction leader, 8 in total. At the Heart of the Shardana cosmetic pack contains unique Sheridan outfits for the bodyguards units. These will be available on release of Total War Pharaoh. Details on the early access weekend will be shared at a later date. Alright, so here's the historical background. In Total War Pharaoh, the newest entry in the award-winning Grand Strategy series, immerse yourself in ancient Egypt at the zenith of its power and experience the dramatic events that threatened its destruction. With dynamic real-time battles and incredible turn-based empire management, can you rise above your adversaries to become Egypt's last great pharaoh and stand against the collapse of an iconic civilization. With the end looming for the great pharaoh Merenptah, the people of Egypt cry out for a new leader. Many desire the power of the throne, but the path to becoming pharaoh is a perilous one. On Earth, a breathtakingly vibrant recreation of the Bronze Age collapse as you battle societal disarray, face natural disasters, and fight to protect your people against waves of invaders. Very exciting. All right, so who is Merenptah? This is the backdrop for the game. We'll just read the first little bit here. We probably won't get into the rest of it. But Merenptah ruled July or August 1213 BC to May 2nd of 1203 BC. Was the fourth pharaoh of the 19th dynasty of ancient Egypt. He ruled Egypt for almost 10 years from late July or early August 1213 BC until his death May 2nd, 1203 BC. According to contemporary historical records, he was the 13th son of Ramses II, only coming to power because all of his older brothers had died, including his full brother Kawaset or Kawamse. By the time he ascended to the throne, he was around 70 years old. He is arguably best known for his victory stele, featuring the first known mention of the name Israel. His throne name was Ba-na-re Neteru, which means the soul of Ra, beloved by the gods. Yeah, so one thing we've got to look forward is some terrible pronunciations for the game. Chronology, according to one reading, contemporary historical records, Merenptah ruled Egypt for almost 10 years from late July to early August 1213 until his death in 1203 BC. Yeah, so that's a little bit of the background. We've got his campaigns down here as well. But what I do want to touch on before I let you guys go is what IGN wrote, because IGN's got a little bit more information in their post. So Total War Pharaoh announced arrives October this year. The next mainline Total War game on the way. So this is a full-fledged mainline historical Total War. It is not a Total War Saga. It is not marketed as a Total War Saga, which it looks like it clearly is. The Taco Bell message. You know, it's funny. I was just listening to Jim Cornette's drive-through, and that's what they were talking about on Jim Cornette's drive-through is Taco Bell. There's some controversy with Taco Tuesday. Anyway, I'm sorry to digress. Saga and Creative Assembly have announced Total War Pharaoh, the next installment in the long-running strategy franchise, with an October 2023 PC release window. Total War Pharaoh will take players to the turbulent Egyptian New Kingdom period, where they'll determine the fate of 3 great cultures. So we get three cultures, and it sounds like you've got to pay for 2 of them, as they fight for survival amid the Bronze Age collapse. There are few periods more iconic than ancient Egypt, fraught with political intrigue, cataclysmic events, and grand war campaigns. It's the perfect setting for a Total War title, said the director Todor Nikolov. As Pharaoh, you must save Egypt from the cusp of destruction and guide your people through the calamitous Bronze Age collapse. It is up to you to either survive or fade into history. Total War Pharaoh first look images. So I don't think there's anything new here. This is the same stuff they had on Steam, which is pretty crazy that they're asking people to pre-order the game at these prices. So these are the American prices: $59.99, $72.87, and $91.46. They're asking people to pre-order the game on those prices based on 5 images and a trailer that has 0 gameplay. Yikes. Yikes. Like, what the hell is going on? Players will have a choice of 8 faction leaders as they set about charming the courts, charging into battle, or causing chaos as a brutal warlord and uncover the rich land that was ancient Egypt. These include the Egyptian factions of Ramses, Seti, Torset, and Amenesi, the Canaanite factions of Bay and Ursu, and the Hittite factions of Karunta and Sepulumia. Opposing armies are just half the battle, however, as players must also contend with sandstorms and thunderstorms, flaming forests, and other dynamically shifting battlefields. That actually sounds kind of interesting to me, though I feel like its implementation could be just a bit of a headache. I know, in some of the older Total Wars, it's just like, fighting in storms and stuff can be really, really painful because you can't see what the hell is going on. So, yeah, it sounds interesting. I do like dynamic battlefields where, everything can be kind of lit on fire and stuff like that, but just depends on how that's implemented. But that does sound interesting to me. So we've got one positive coming out of this. Total War Pharaoh also includes a franchise first campaign customization feature that ensures unique conquests on every run. Players can randomize the starting positions for all factions after resource settings, alter resource settings, increase the chance of natural disasters, and so on. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. It kind of diminishes in a way the historical setting if you can just randomize everything. So, but it could create some unique campaigns. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting feature, but yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'll have to see how it actually plays out. Anyway, those who pre-order Total War Pharaoh will gain entry to an early access weekend, though no date was given for this yet, alongside the Avatar of the Gods cosmetic pack and the Heart of the Shardana cosmetic pack. Base game, all right, yeah, so we got the prices there. Yeah, so there it is, boys. Total War Pharaoh. Is this just a giant troll by Creative Assembly? Just seems, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. If it was priced reasonably, I'd be like, okay. But this, I don't know, may or may not be, the worst selling Total War in history. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how the game is. But so, like, from the tiny bit that they've released, it just looks like a reskin of Troy, which, I mean, would make perfect sense anyway. From a development standpoint, you've already got, a foundation for a game. Just make some tweaks, make some changes, and there you have a new game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. This anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. What does the community think of Total War Pharaoh? I really can't believe that, number one, the leaks were right, the leaks were true, and number two, that this is the next historical Total War game. Like, my god, we're not getting Medieval 3, we're not getting Rome 3, we're not getting Total War Renaissance, we're not getting Total War World War 1. We're getting a Total War Saga in Egypt marketed as the next Total War historical Total War. So anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. Ragnarok out.